take your ass to the bathroom, pull your shit together. Everyone has moments, right? I feel like women have a difficult time hiding it.
Restaurant Punk, what's up?
Welcome back to Restaurant Punk.
Restaurant.
Welcome back. I just want to address Peter stole my outfit today.
Well, we did not coordinate when we left the house. And this
Clearly
is
not.
money Restaurant Punk merch,
You ain't wrong.
right? And it actually
wrong.
fits really well.
We probably should have switched seats. That way, like, you were in between us. so
Yeah,
we
that
were
would have been right.
Well,
Anyway.
you know what?
heavily
Fine, okay,
advertising today.
Yes.
This is the merchandise video. The merchandise episode.
Click the link below.
We should have came in with everything, the hat, the hoodie.
Oh, yeah, we should have decked out.
The shoes, everything, yeah.
I wish we could cut and then just like come back and everybody was decked out.
We'll work on that next filming.
Yeah, for
We
sure.
should do that, no? So, like, no one's going to
I still have to order one of the mug, the
travel mugs?
yeah.
The mugs,
I like those.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Those are my
bought it
favorite.
for props, but I don't use them.
Yeah. We'll make an order next week. Okay.
Anyway.
Now
For
you know
sure.
our lives.
Yeah, boy.
do.
Or
Exciting
girls.
we got.
All right, so what do we got? What do we got?
Okay, let me tell you experience that I had the other day, and I was like so tempted to say something. So I was in this popular coffee chain, locally, and I go to the counter, and there's two girls behind the counter, and the one girl's trying desperately to make her way to me, and the other girl is just having a full-fledged like meltdown of her life, like, and I can't hear what she's saying yet, right?
Right.
She's the girl's trying to like walk backwards to come closer to me, but still listen to her. And this girl could not take a hint. It's like the person that keeps telling the whole personal fucking life, all your whole backstory.
Word
and-
vomit.
Instead
Yeah.
of working. So the girl eventually gets to me, and under her breath, she says, "Ugh, calm down." And I start laughing because, yeah, she should calm down. So anyway, pay, go to the other end, wait for my coffee, and here we go again. On and on. This poor one girl cannot work.
busting ass. Yeah.
Yeah, and she said maybe you should go to the bathroom and like just go there until you like get your shit together. Basically, very nice. And I'm like, yeah, you should, right?
I just want my coffee.
Yeah. So now she's going on about something about health insurance and $200 and her gynecologist and on and on and on. And on.
What?
Yes. And she wasn't quiet about it. So now I'm like, ooh, what do I say? Do I say something? I don't want to make her cry, but I really want to say something, right? Like,
Right.
take your ass to the bathroom, pull your shit together. Everyone has moments, right? I feel like women have a difficult time hiding it. We tend to like talk about
She
but,
said it, not me.
but the whole world does not, the guest, the customer does not need to hear your whole entire life story. That is a pet peeve of mine.
That
So PV to me.
yes, that happens so often. And it's so funny because I was just watching a reel. I don't know if it was Facebook or Instagram or TikTok or whatever. And it was this businesswoman that works with, she's a consultant for QSR restaurants. And she's like, when they bring me in to consult, the first thing that I judge the restaurant on is I go in and just watch, pretend I look at the menu or whatever for 10 minutes, but I just watch the customers and I just kind of see what system is in place and how long it takes them from entering the door to getting their product. And that tells me everything I need to know of the restaurant, the employees, and the management. In the first 10 minutes, I'll get 75% of my whole story out of the way.
I agree
And
with
it's
that.
so funny that I just listened to that within the last like 4 days. And you just said that story to this famous or not famous, who knows, coffee
Yeah.
restaurant.
It's very
Yeah.
famous, yeah.
It literally, like, I can't stand when I'm at a restaurant and I just hear like a full blown like drama or whatever, or like conversation to where people like just don't talk that close. I can't stand it when people come up to me, whether I've been the owner or a coworker or whatever, and people are trying to like engage in like a full blown conversation with me on the floor. I'm like, no, I literally will stop and be like, come over here. Like, come talk to me over
Right.
here.
Yes.
I don't know why, but it's just like, it's so unprofessional to me. And
Oh, are you talking about the customer speaking to you?
no, I'm talking about two employees just
The
like
employees speaking to
blabbing
each other.
on, speaking to each other.
I'm sorry. I blacked out for a second. I came back into the conversation. I thought it was a customer telling their life story to you as a bartender
that's
or a server.
also,
Yeah.
that's,
Now it's just
That's
too
for
But now,
day.
does that reflect? Okay, you have the employee and you have them doing this, and obviously it's not professional and you shouldn't be doing it, right? Does that reflect management as well?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. At that point, I wanted to say, who's the manager? Only to give a pat on the back to the girl who was trying to handle it.
Exactly.
She was really trying to diffuse it. She was doing a good job. The girl just was.
And it's one of those things to where like, this also like on the owner scale, it's just like when someone's like, I'm just having a bad day or whatever. And you're like, okay, well, like, you can't just like take off for having bad days, right?
Yeah.
Like, are you sick? Is there an emergency? Like, what's going on? But then it gets to the point where it's just like, okay, now that's bad for business. Like,
Yes.
Well,
there's
now
some
you're getting
people-
into the whole mental health of your employees on a daily basis because maybe the new generation could be a little more fragile than the older generation
No,
used to
for
be,
sure.
and can't handle their shit.
And we've
same
had those
way.
conversations. Like, it's one thing to be like, I'm having a bad mental health day.
Yeah.
Great. Like, if you disclose that and you're vulnerable with me, but if you are just, it's fucking Tuesday and Jessica has the 50th problem of the week and it's just everything. And I'm like,
That's
okay, then at that
different.
point,
Yeah.
like as a management, like you got to let it go.
Yeah.
You got to let them go because it's just like, it's going to keep arising.
Toxicity.
And it's funny because when you notice those people, like you said, like this happened and then the gynecologist happened and then the car problems happened and then this happened. It's like that person attracts negative bullshit.
Yes.
And it's going to
Yeah.
keep coming back and then they are going to suck the life out of everybody else around them.
Yeah, I had a coworker years ago. Just always a Debbie Downer story. Every time he came
Yes.
in, I said, "Can you just stand over there? Because wherever this dark cloud that's hovering over you every single shift, I don't want it getting on me." Right? And I said,
Yeah.
"How about every time you come in, instead of thinking about all your problems, come in and tell me something interesting that happened today or something funny." I go, because it's what you focus on. You keep focus on. That's exactly what you're going to keep
Yes.
attracting. But if you're having a bad moment and people have bad moments, take it to the back. Take it to the bathroom, take it to the back of the house, just get away for a minute, not the whole shift.
So that's all right. Exactly what you said is exactly how it should be done.
But
20 years ago, how often did you hear, I need a mental day, I need a mental health day? You would hear that every now and then. But now, it's on a whole other level. I feel like people are taking so much advantage. I'm not even going to say taking advantage because it's up to the owner, operator, or management to either dictate if it's okay and you can do this. Because, wait, I know what she's going to say because she's big on mental health, as everybody should be. But now I think the threshold of it, when it used to be here, has dropped down dramatically. And that's when I say I feel like people are taking advantage of, I need a mental day or I need to gather my things because the threshold used to be a lot higher, I feel like. And I feel like now it's getting lower and lower.
because society is getting lower and lower and lower.
I agree. Okay, so when I grew up, you suck it up. Even
Yeah.
as a kid, if I saw someone crying, I'm like, suck it up. As a kid, I was saying this to other kids.
Yeah.
I remember it was like very briefly, I was like very young and I was a cheerleader. I remember someone on our team got hurt in basketball and I yelled out calling him a baby and told him to suck it up as a kid. Like I was such a dick.
I love that.
Because that's how I was raised. You
Yeah.
know, my dad's military, right? But not that my dad was that strict. But anyway, that's not the point. I do think people in general, whether it be mental health or anything, I think a lot of people take advantage in general of stuff.
Of course, yes.
I think an underlying thing that's a real issue is as we're taught in school, whether it be from parents or from our teachers, we're not taught how to cope.
Nope.
Exactly.
That's really the issue. So if you can't
Wow.
learn how to cope with things, if you're getting the opportunity to run or to hide or to just pretend it's not there, then you take it to deal. And I understand that. It's
You know what? You brought it right
Yeah.
to the genesis of how it should begin.
Yeah.
Like I didn't even think
and
about
like
that.
we're just even
just
to like
clicked.
bring it back to the experience that you had, like it comes down to like, I know it's not management's responsibility, but like I've been in situations to where like I've had to look at someone and be like, if we are going to be here and we're going to be going through this together, like these are ways that we need to cope and move
Yes.
forward working together.
Yeah.
And it really like not everybody can be treated the same. And that was also the problem with society 20, 30, 40 years ago. Everybody just was treated the same. And look how many successful young people there are today.
Yeah.
That opportunity wasn't available back then. And obviously there's so many different resources and everything else. But again, like I just feel like there's also that pressure And there's so many things to where like we do have the conversations and
Well, I'm going to cut you off then. Do you think there's more successful people, young people now because of social media?
Yeah.
And because all the needs have shifted so dramatically from the needs of 20 years ago and what was needed
Absolutely.
to what's needed now. And now
no,
it's
it's not
all
even what's needed. It's what's
entertainment.
wanted. It's what's wanted. Everything right
Entertainment.
now is instant gratification. It is fully what is wanted, not as what is needed.
Yeah.
We
I agree with that.
we grew up in a time where, you know, there was the things that were needed, necessities, even down to like, okay, we got to grin and bear it. We got to keep moving. Like we need to keep the train going, to where now it's everybody's want and desire and instant gratification of, well, I want this and this is why I want this and this is how I'm going to get that. And I don't know.
I think there's a mentality. I think that people feel they deserve something simply because they want it.
Yeah.
And they don't necessarily feel that they should have to work for it.
Absolutely.
That's a problem.
I agree.
I don't even know how we got on this
100%.
topic, but don't even get me started on this shit.
What
Because
was the topic for
People
today?
who can't keep their shit together in front of the house and tell the whole business in front of everyone, you know.
But that again, like even down to like good leadership, because it does come down to that, is like I have pulled people aside and I'm like, listen, this is not working. Like based off of like your like emotional ability, like if you personally, like let's say, you know, you have a job that you come to before. Like you come to work at the restaurant. Like we have so many teachers, right? So many teachers in our group that they teach during the day, they come in, whatever, do, you know, work at the restaurant at night. And when they come in at that point, they're exhausted. They're working with either special needs kids or, you know, just regular kids every day. And that's an exhausting job, literally shaping the youth of freaking tomorrow. And they come in and I'm like, listen, I obviously want to support teachers every which way I can. Again, they're doing the most for society on the smallest, you know, paycheck. However, if you can't walk through the door and switch the gears, then let's work on your schedule. Do you want to work on the weekends as opposed to working the weekdays? Because clearly this isn't working for you. I will find ways to help you cope with what's going on and still make, you know, ends meet.
Yeah.
But like that, it
absolutely.
comes down to the leadership. If you can't pull it together, or if you can't switch gears, or if you're like, if we're consistently having these bad days, we have to reassess and we have to move forward because this is inappropriate behavior.
But I don't think that every time someone's discussing their personal life, they're necessarily having a meltdown. Because I was in a store, someone was ringing me up. She's on the phone, not like on the phone, ringing me up, talking to her ex-boyfriend, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, is this happening? Because I remember back in the day before cell phones, like you weren't allowed on the company phone, much less a cell phone.
I remember if you got a call, or like if I even wanted to call my mom or my dad at work, I was like, oh shit, this has to be important.
Yeah.
This has to be important. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's just
Now
times
it's second
are
nature.
different.
You just have it in your phone. You just look. You
But
go
yeah,
to the
it's
bathroom.
wildly inappropriate to just like hear people blabbing on about like life or whatever. If customers want to talk to me and like they want to get personal and I want to make that connection with them, great. But like I'm not going to sit there with a coworker and shoot the shit, whether it's positive, negative, whatever. Like we can talk in the server section. We can talk in the kitchen. We can talk anywhere else. I'm not going to stand next to a table and have a full-blown conversation, because what I'm talking about with a table is things that I'm willing to disclose with a table.
Yeah.
Not what I want them to hear that I'm talking
Absolutely,
about
yeah.
with a coworker.
I just think employees should be very mindful.
Very
And
demure,
management
very mindful.
should be very mindful of their employees as well.
Well, yeah, because
Yeah.
management sometimes engages them in those conversations.
Management's the problem half the time.
Yep.
Fuckers.
Anyway,
That's it.
got me riled up.
Restaurant punk.
Restaurant punk.
All right, that's it. Okay, bye.
Restaurant punk, get a therapist. Bye.
Oh, I wanted to like have her back so bad. Tell the girl, be like, you should be fired, just so you know, you suck. Like you're really a problem.
What you got? What do you want?